Hey everybody, I hope you're doing good. This is Mr. Belk. I wanted to come make another video about variation. Today we're going to be talking about inverse variation. It shouldn't take too terribly long. What we're doing today is really similar to what we did last week about direct variation, with one slight difference, as I'm sure you can see here, is your equation, instead of being y equals k times x, that was the direct variation equation that showed that relationship between those two variables. Inverse variation is y equals k over x. And I tried to write here how to pronounce it, and apparently I made a mistake. It would not be y varies directly with x. For this, you would say y varies inversely with x. Okay, so that word should be inversely. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, but do pay attention to the rest of the stuff we're going to do. So let's go ahead and do a couple of problems. I pulled these straight from the IXL that you guys are going to be doing today, and it's basically going through the same steps as what you did last week, just with the y equals k over x. So let me go ahead and write that down. So y is going to equal k over x, and then it's going to tell me inverse variation equation when y is 3, when x is 2, and wants us to write an inverse variation equation that shows that relationship, and that tells you that your answer is going to be an equation. It just wants you to write an inverse variation equation. We're going to get to doing more than that here in a few seconds, or here in a few minutes, but this one just wants you to write an equation. So the only thing you need to learn to know for your equation is k. That's why it gives you this first relationship between x and y, so you can go solve for k. So let me plug in 3 for y, using the same form of this equation that I did on the left. And then k is what I'm going to solve for. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put x, and it tells me that y is 3 when x is 2. And then the way you want to solve all of these things, if you are going to solve this equation, just multiply by the denominator. So multiply both sides by 2. And on the right side, these two 2's cancel out. And then 2 times 3 on the left side gives you 6. And you're left with 6 equals k. And then you just plug k back into this y equals k over x equation, but you leave x and y as variables, so you'll actually have an equation. And then, let me highlight, and then you just put x on the bottom. And you plug in for 6, because you know what k is. Okay, so that's how you'd write an equation. Let's do another one that's got some decimals in it. I may have to pull out my calculator really quick. So inverse variation, we got y equals 0.8 when x is 8, and it says write an inverse variation equation. So again, that's kind of tells you that your answer is going to be an equation. And then when you're doing these like you did last week, make sure you put y equals for your equations. Don't just put k equals this, or don't just put in a number. Make sure you type in your equation for this. Otherwise, you'll get mad at IXL for doing this. So we're using y equals kx again. And then all we got to go do is I'm going to plug in 0.8 for y. And then I'm going to set that equal to k, because I don't know k. I want to solve for it, over x, and x is 8. So just multiply both sides by your denominator over here, which is 8 times 8. And then on your calculator, it's hard to see, but this is 0.8 times 8. So if you do 0.8 times 8, I get 6.4. So that tells me k equals 6.4. And then your final answer, you just write y equals, plug in 6.4 for k, and then divide it by x. And leave the x and the y like that for this part, because your answer is that equation. Let's go look at a couple of other problems it asks you to do. So these two problems are going to ask you to go a step further. It'll tell you this first relationship between x and y. Obviously, since we're doing inverse, these are all going to be the k over x equations. If you start mixing them up, it does get a little confusing. But these are all y equals k over x. And then it tells you this relationship. It says, hey, when y is 1, x is 6. And then it wants you to do a third step, find y when x is 2. So we're going to go use this to solve for k. And then we're going to go use the last part to go solve for y. Okay, so ignore the very last phrase for just a second. We're going to plug in 1 for y. We're going to plug in, don't know k. We're going to plug in 6 for x. So 6 goes on the bottom. And then you just multiply both sides by 6. Oops. Multiply both sides by 6 here. There we go. And then on the left side, I'm sure you know when you do 6 times 1, you get 6. On the right side, your 6's cancel, so you're left with k. So k is 6, popular number today. But what this tells you, it tells you that, I'm going to separate these things. So it tells you your relationship is y equals 6, which is k, over x. So now you keep your 6 there plugged in for k. You're going to go a step further. It says find y when x is 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in 2 for x right down here into your new equation, kind of like where we stopped in the last problems. And then we're going to solve for y. So y equals 6 over 2. And 6 over 2 is 3. Okay, so that one just wanted you to go a step further and go solve for y in a different situation. And the next one's going to ask you to do about the same thing. It's going to say, here we got y varies inversely with k. Let me go ahead and write y equals kx, new favorite equation. And then it tells you this middle part, if y is 3 when x is 12. I'm going to go ahead and pause, plug both those things in my equation, and solve for k. So when y is 3, k goes on top, and then x is 12. And then if you multiply both sides by 12, 3 times 12 will give you 36. And these two 12s cancel out. Don't multiply 12 and 12 on that side because they cancel out. So k is 36. And then I'm going to draw my line to separate these parts of my problem, and it wants me to find x when y is 9. So now I have y equals 36 over x. And this time is a little bit different than the last problem. It wants me to find x. So that means I'm going to plug in 9 for y. And then I'm going to go solve for x. Okay, and then to do this, we've always been multiplying by the denominator, so it's going to be a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by the denominator, which is x. And what we're going to do there is multiply. If you multiply both sides by x, these x's cancel out, which is what you wanted. And on the left side, you have 9x equals 36. So be careful. Don't do the tempting thing will be to multiply both sides by 9 or multiply both sides by 36 or divide both sides by 36, whatever. But if you go through this process and you set the problem up the right way, you won't have to think about how you do it. You just go through this same process each time. Multiply by the denominator, then you're left with a simple equation you can solve. Divide both sides by 9, and you get x equals 36 divided by 9 is 4. Okay, so that's everything that you need to know about inverse variation for our class. And I think the assignment today is Q2 in Algebra 2. But look on LMS and or RenWeb to make sure of that. But I'm pretty sure it's Q2 in Algebra 2 and just get to 80%.